And I'll start taking this thing apart. Oh yeah. Let that sit there and just drain out. Ooh, nice. Hello and welcome back to the Pontiac C10. This time, I'm going to be trying to tackle changing the rear end, or rebuilding the rear end, excuse me. It's going to be fun. Not really looking forward to it. I'm still not sure if I'm going to just jack this thing straight up in the air, let the rear end hang down and build it, or pull it out from under, use my engine stand that can hold a lot of weight, and put the rear end stand back on it and build it out there. That way I can just like get it just perfect, but then that involves me taking a lot of stuff out from underneath. You know, the whole struggle, like also with that fuel tank, not sure if I got really a lot of room to work on it, to tell you the truth. But yeah, don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Hit the notification button. And now I guess I'm going to try to jack this thing straight up and see how much room I actually have. I know you can already smell this video. That didn't look that bad. Almost looks new still. I really can't believe how well this is held up. All the silicone that just does not want to come off. It's still stuck pretty good. There it goes, finally. I like having covers with drain plugs because a lot of it is already out. Not all of it, but a lot of it is. It does make it easy to, you know, just change your fluid. Let that drain for a bit. And I'll start taking this thing apart. Oh yeah. Let that sit there and just drain out. Ooh, nice. Alright. Now I'm gonna get our C-clips out, which is not a big deal. I'm kind of long-armed. So we'll just go ahead and push that in. Well, come on. There. Same thing on the other side. There we go. Now there it is. Woo! Yeah, some of that fluid's still good. There's some metal, but I had these, the gears were changed in like, oh gosh, who knows how long ago, honestly. 2008 maybe, 9, maybe 10, somewhere in that range. And this is still the original carrier and original axles. So some of that metal just could have been well, I remember when I had these gears changed, I almost had no fluid at the time. It was almost out of fluid, so there was some of that, you know, not very good going on, but yeah, whatever. Okay, there we go. Let's slide our axles out. Now this side I should be okay. I got more room on this side than I do the other side, and I figured if I needed more room, I could open the door. Yeah, that is the original axle. Now this side, I'm not 100% sure if I can get it in or out, because if I gotta open the door and it's closer to the door, I can't open the door all the way. And honestly, I thought I bought the other side door, but whatever. I should have enough room to pull this all the way out. The only thing about this garage is space, but oh yeah, I had plenty of room. I don't know what I was worried about. There we go. Me. Not yet. I'll put that there. I'll put this one on the other side so I know which side they came off of. There we go. Spacers. Okay. I'm just going to kind of keep note of the spacers on the sides. When I pull them out, even though, yeah, I'm putting in a whole nother carrying with a whole nother ring, which is possibly could be a different size than this, so I may not use the same spacers. We got plenty of them, but kind of a good starting point to know. Careful, careful. The races. Okay. Oh, that wasn't too bad. Oh, yeah, there it goes. Okay. Alright, I know that one was there. That one was there. Now I gotta knock the races out, which is not a big deal. I mean, I've never done this before. See that nice little slot there? Another one right there. I usually take something like this. It's just a piece of stainless rod. Put there and just hit it with a hammer until I knock it out. One quick note here is, even though I know these are different gear ratios, that this is 373s, is I need to take note at this shim under here, and that's a good starting point for the new shim. Now I have decided on go ahead and just put new drums and brake shoes on it while I'm here, because I'm also putting new wheel cylinders on it. All this hardware is not really that old. The drums are old, the shoes are not. But I'm just going to go ahead and... Actually, the funny thing is it's not even leaking now, like it sealed itself back up. But the fact that I knew it was leaking at one point, I'm not going to take the chance. Don't know which one I need yet, I can't remember. Yeah, it'll do. All right. They don't have a lot of miles on them, but they've been in there a long time. Alright, I would say here's where the fun begins, but I don't know many people that have fun building a rear end. But, you know, whatever it is, what it is, right? I'm going to put off actually putting this stuff in until I get the races and the axle bearings and seals, all that in now, so that it's all that's good and all the small stuff is out of the way, except for I'll probably put the yoke, the pinion seal in last so I don't damage the seal, you know, getting all the measurements, all that. Speaking of all the measurements, this is what I have to get the pinion depth correct. Because I am going also crush sleeve eliminator, so I'll have to get the pinion preload correct as well. And I'll tell you something, I don't like pressing stuff on and off, all that good stuff, and I like to make it easy, right? So getting the pinion depth right, I have these bearings, which are the correct bearings for the 8.5 pinion, but they have been slightly modified, so that way I can quickly check the pinion depth. If it's not right, I can do it again, get the correct amount of shims, and then once I get the correct ones, get the correct depth and all that, I can put the new ones, the correct, and press them on, because I don't want to press on, press off, and it's always been a hassle and I hated doing it. So I got my cheater bearings for an 8.5. So you can see I got all my parts already. I got my the race driver set right there. Got my moser axle bearings right there. So another thing I got to do is actually get the axle set up, which I'll do that in a minute. Basically what I'm doing is I'm kind of stalling, because I really, setting the carrier is easy in setting that. The pinion is always the hard part to set. Everything else is easy, so I'm just kind of stalling. So I'm just going to put parts on to make me feel better. Alright, it's pretty apparent that I need to work on some lighting over on the sides, but you know, it is what it is. There we go. Nice and clean. Put a little bit of new. Just kind of make it a little bit easier. Make sure it's always handy to have the old bearings too. I used to have one with attached to a board where I could hit it, and I don't remember where I put it. Probably because I moved stuff around so much lately that I forgot where everything was. I think that'll do. It's not really for bearings, but you know what? I'll make it work. As long as I can knock that in there evenly, that's all that matters. Well, I thought. Well. All right. Ta-da! We're there. All right. All I gotta do is get that on there. Do the same thing with this. Easy, right? Well, if I would have got it straight to begin with, take this little mallet and knock it around. I say that and then I keep dropping it. So, I'm not as good as these apparently. Okay. Try that. Well, come on. Hey. Not liking that. No. What's going on here? I've never had that much trouble out of a seal, but it's been a while since I've done it. Alright, let's try it again. Alright, get it flush in there, come on. There we go. Snug as bug and a rug. I put some sealant on it because for some reason the last guy that rebuilt it put sealant on there, so I'm assuming they had an issue. You can see they had sealant on it. So, not sure why. But we're going to roll with it. It's not going to hurt anything anyway. I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of fresh in there. Roll the bearing around. Get it all in there. That way it's coated now, especially since it's out of the package. And, yeah, I don't want any kind of moisture or anything, because I plan on finishing it today, but you know, sometimes life doesn't allow that to happen. So, just make sure bearings are pre-lubed, and it's probably not a bad thing to do anyway. Put a little bit around the seal already. One thing I noticed about this one, there's actually a gouge in it. If y'all can see right there, I can feel it. Just want to take a little bit off without taking too much material off for obvious reasons. Now, I've finished metal for 18 years or so. I've long since retired, but something like this I used to use if you wanted something just smoothed up, especially if you was polishing aluminum and all that, like I used to do all the time. It's basically a Scotch-Brite wheel. This is an older Merit one I have. It's Scotch-Brite with just a hair bit of sandpaper in it. And it's usually good. It doesn't take off hardly any material, but it does leave a nice smooth surface. And I should be able to just kind of just enough to take that burr off, which is all I wanted to do. Nothing crazy. Get all that dust out of there now. Alright, I'm running into some issues here, and this bearing seems okay. It may press down around the pinion. This one that goes here, there is no way that thing's going on. It will not even clear. Which, this is the one where it's a crust sleeve, so you should be able to take this in and out in a sense. It's going to be a little tight, but not that tight. These, for the carrier, are not even close. They're not going on at all. 0% chance. %0 chance those will go on. Looked it up the carrier real quick and realized in the notes it said must use larger different carrier bearing. This is 1 1/4 inch, this is 1 1/2 inch. So now I gotta order more bearings. Alright, bearings are ordered. So I'll just put this in my extra part stash of parts for... I was like, oh, maybe I have another one off one of them. No, I don't. Maybe if I would have looked at one of these other kits I got lying around, I would have realized I've done this before. Because now I have 4 of these bearings. Alright, so what I can do, go ahead and install the races still, the carrier. Go ahead and toss those. Get that off my bench. Crush sleeve, throw in there with the extra crush sleeves. Eventually I have plenty of crush sleeves, I just don't ever use them. Okay. We'll just use the old race to start it. I like that a lot better anyway. It doesn't though. It doesn't really want to go. Come on. go. Alright, so now I got my axles. Yep, moser axles. Which, for some of y'all, maybe thinking about upgrading to them. Here we go. So I'm running these replacement axles from Moser. And I get it, you know, they're probably not as good as some other Moser axles, but it's still probably an improvement over stock. So I got these axles here. When you order from Summit, it doesn't really say, but I emailed Moser and got the correct wheel studs, which are these. That they're actually for the holes, these size holes, because the stock ones will not, the original, like if you just go to Summit, put in the year of the truck, and just get the factory ones, they're not going to work. These will. So, usually, I would just take a lug nut, or used to, I'd take a lug nut and an intact and press them on that way. I can get to my press now. See if that's all the way up. Okay, so if I do this, now man, it's not gonna work. Now take what I do here with a grain of salt, because you know I'm not perfect. This is the way I've done them for years, with no issues. Some people use washers, some don't. I like to use one of these open-ended nuts like the factory one, so that it goes through pretty far and I'm not messing up any of these big important threads at the end that are really needed, you know, for holding on your wheel. Also, I got one of my original lug nuts and I'm always going on afterwards, like this one that's already on, making sure that it goes on easy by hand with no issues, because should thread pretty easy by hand. Otherwise you done messed up somewhere. So yeah, let's carry on. Alright, so since there's two things left I can do, one of them is let's go ahead and torque the ring on the carrier. Not a big deal. Try to line the holes up, get it close. The sun don't feel right here. I don't remember if this one clicks in reverse. So let me go get old Trusty. I got old Trusty. That'll let me know for sure where I'm at. Ah, 65 there. Ah, 65. But it's clicking that way, so I'll just said borrow one that clicks, and reverse, and test it. Alright, now what I'm doing here is redoing it. You may be asking why, but the answer is pretty simple. I went out and bought me a new tidy stick, and I'm going to go ahead and redo these. Now here's old reliable, just an old school torque style. As you can see, it's a hair bit off, but you know what? I think it's alright. I'm going to just kind of see. Yeah, this thing, I think this thing is pretty accurate. I need to test it on something else, just to be sure, but now I got that new digital. I think what I'll do is play with this one day and kind of test something, torque it down, and then see what it shows on there. Now it's time to press our new bearings on. Get them kind of started first. Try to get it even. I don't know if I can pull that up one more or not. Try to just do it like that. Alright, going through my shim pile here, trying to find roughly about the same amount of shim as what came out from the other one. Go on this one, because it's a good starting point. Alright, now comes the fun part, because I got this set up. Should be pretty good. I'll probably have to tweak it a little bit for the carrier, but we go ahead and slide this in with our cheater bearings, which is really easy. Have to get on the other side and get the other bearing and the nut started on the yoke. So I'm almost willing to, okay, so these new shims, they're supposed to have this little groove, and they kind of not only hold the other little shims, so it's got a little groove there, and shims sit inside there so you can stack your shims, and they're supposed to kind of somewhat sit in there and hold themselves up, but I'm not having that luck. So, this little thin one is fighting me. I think that's what I needed to get this correct. I wonder if I get a little bit thicker one to add. Maybe like that. There we go. Okay. Maybe. Odds are, if it goes like it usually does, it's never right the first time for me. Never. So let's see what happens. Set the thing up in there. It'd be nice if it was correct the first time, but you know what? I'm not expecting miracles here. Oh, I got too much shim now. Oh man. Yeah, too much shim. Okay, well. I think. Stay. Stay. Hey. Okay. No, it's that one keeps moving on me. That's cool. Not really. Come on. Hate fighting these shims. This is the time that it would have been great to build this with the rear end out, but you know, it's not what I did. I definitely don't do these enough to be professional. That's for sure. That's not right. I can already tell you that. That is not correct. That's got too much slop in it. Yep. So, what do I need to do? I think I need to go that way here, but I guess let's just go ahead and put these back in real quick, snug it down, and check it. That way I know exactly where I'm at without making any guesses. Oh, this is great. I don't have a lot of room. Okay. I got the shock and traction bars in the way. This side don't have the shock in the way, but still hitting the suspension. Alright, let's see how far off I am, because I know I'm nowhere close. I feel like I need to go that way into the into the pinion more. And the depth, I'm not 100% sure on yet. Now y'all can see what I'm and about. You can see right there. I know that's too loose, just by feel. I need to shim it, looks like, to me, I need to shim it just a hair in. The depth doesn't look bad. I think it needs to maybe a little, take a shim off so it comes this way a little bit more towards the outer side of the ring. I think. When you look at the pinion itself, we get the light there and see that it does need to go a little bit more into the ring. Oh, right there. Normally people don't look at that, but I am. Looks like it could go into the ring a little bit more, judging from that. Alright, let's try this again, shall we? Let's see where we're at. That's still a little bit looser than I'd like to be, but let's check our pattern. See if we've improved or went worse. I feel like it should be tighter, but that's one adjustment, I think. See, that's not a bad looking pattern. Alright, now here's what I'm going to do. I tested it one more time. I think I got it just right now, finally. I'm going to press the bearing on now. Got my shims. Now pressing this on is always a little bit fun, but what I have is an old bearing that I cut the bearings off of like this, so I can do this and then this like so. And it makes a nice little spot to press, and we're gonna, oh, there it is. So I can just simply press this down. Get this thing pressed all the way down. Close enough to center it up. Right about there. That's it. Yep. All right. All right, now that I have the new bearing pressed on, shims are in place, crush sleeve with the shim in it to give me 18 inch-pounds of preload should be pretty good to go. Backlash is should be right on the money. So now I'm gonna put the new sill back in because I didn't want to tear that up, taking that in and out. Because so far it's only third rear. The words are hard sometimes. Rear end, I've rebuilt. I still have to take them out a couple times, so I'd rather not damage the sill and have to replace it. You know, all that good stuff. And the proper bearing for it now, so should just be pretty good to go now. So I'm gonna get up in there, new nut for it. So if I'm not mistaken, like a lot of people say, use the old nut on the pinion. Then when your final install, put the new one on. So that's what I'm gonna do. Then check everything one last time. Alright, now to slide our new axle in. Let's see if I can do this. Come on. Yep, there we go. Oop, too far. That's fine though. Yeah, I painted these because I don't like anything rusting. You know me. I like having bare metal. I'll paint it so nothing rusts. Alright, so I rechecked it. It's a little bit different, but it is what it is. I had to do what I had to do. And one of these fell. That's cool. Now where'd the lock washer go? That's great. Well, I'll find it here in a second. So everything is adjusted pretty close as I can get it. But sometimes these aftermarkets, they don't, I don't know, they just don't get 100% where they should be. But it's pretty freaking close. I had about 18 to 19 inch-pounds of torque, there's my C-clip, on the pinion, or inch-pounds on the preload. Well, now that it's all set up, it bounces between 19 and 21. I think I'll be alright. Should be. C-clip is in. Turn that a little bit. Put that right back where it was. Now the crazy thing is, and that just reminds me, I know I need Loctite, is that when I took this off, I couldn't get the little bolt out because they'd already put Loctite on it. Like it needed it. I mean, it was brand new in a box, so what the heck did it need it for? Make sure those are both all the way. They look good. And this thing right here was a pain to get in and out. Well, the shaft that holds the axles in, and it feels like it's going to be a pain again. Oh boy. Oh no, not another problem. I can't spin it to see if I'm actually hitting. I think I'm hitting the axles. Yeah, I'm definitely hitting that one. Yeah, that's still got room to move. That one's all the way. That one's not. For some reason, that one's being stubborn. And since it's being stubborn, we gotta get the stubborn eliminator. There we go. Now, let me just go ahead and, that one went pretty easy, but, yep, okay. Just making sure since I'm here now. One more. Yeah. Okay. Oh man, where did I put my Loctite? Oh, but it's all the way on the other side. Oh, oh. See, a crowbar has several uses. It's a pry bar. It's also, I can't reach that bar, so you know, use it to reach whatever you want to reach. And you put a little dab, little dab, a little, and we'll slide that on in there, like so. Perfect. I like that. First try. Lined up. Okay. Now I'm just gonna cross here and, you know, put a little gasket maker around everything. It's all cleaned off and everything, so it's prepped and ready to go. Yeah, yep. There we go. I already got the gasket on the cover. It's tacky and ready to go. Let's go ahead and do this little number right here. Because no one likes leaks in the rear end, right? That could lead to a bad time. You know, it just really depends on the leak in the rear end. So, there we go. Get that smeared around. Yeah. That way also when I push down the gasket and the cover, it doesn't just splooge everywhere, and you know, hopefully it's a little more controlled. I'll take some paper towel. Fine tools. Fine tools. Where did I put tools again? Oh, this is what I hate about being under a vehicle. Sometimes you gotta look around. Where did I put it? Man. Thought I had it down here ready to go. Yeah, the rear end cover needs cleaned up. That'll come another day. That does not look happy. Make it a little bit happier. There we go. That's better. That's better. Okay. Gasket did not like that, but it should now. There. I've been debating this on and off with myself for a little bit, and I think I've come to the conclusion on my brakes. Measuring the pads, the new ones I got and these old ones, there's a ton of life on them left on these pads, on my old pads. But the drums are original, so I decided to go ahead and just change, or put new drums on and change this leaking master cylinder. And maybe later down the line, I'll either A, put the new shoes on with the new hardware, because I don't have hardware right now, or if I can find a financially affordable kit, I will probably put disc brakes on. Right now is not the time for that. But, you know, master cylinder is a must, since it's not really leaking anymore, but you can see where it kind of leaked, so I'm not going to take the chance there. And I can't remember how old these master cylinders are, and considering everything else on the brake system is brand new, such as the lines, hoses, and the calipers, it only makes sense and I go ahead and change these out. And alright, now brand new drums, which had to adjust the brakes in quite a bit, so these are good to go. Bleed the brakes and fill it up with fluid, and I'm in the rear, well, the rear end up with fluid, and I am done for today. Now to fill it up, and the reason why I went ahead and did the cylinders stuff first was to give that gasket maker a little time to cure before I put fluid in the rear end. Now what I'm doing, so I have my stinky friction modifier for limited slips, and yeah, I use the Ford Motorcraft in it because apparently it works better. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is go ahead and mix it in here with this. Whew! Alright. I'm tired of being out of the truck. So, I'm done. Brakes are bled. They're getting fluid. Good. Rear end is spinning. Good. Now, obviously, I can't drive it yet to really fully check it, but it should be pretty good. I hope. You know, if it's not, I can always readjust it later. No big deal. I got plenty of shims and stuff. It don't matter. I can adjust it if something happens, you know. So, I'm not the greatest at rebuilding rear ends by far. I'm slightly not bad at it. So everyone wants too much to rebuild a rear end, and there's not a lot of people that can do it or want to do it. So let's kind of do it myself. So now the truck's down where it should be. It's filled with fluid, and since I had someone bleed the brakes, help me bleed the brakes, they were pumping the pedal, and I checked for leaks while that happened, because now there's pressure. Everything looks good. So as long as the fluid stays good and it doesn't leak, well, the fluid in the master cylinder should stay where it's at. And I didn't see any leaks, so should be good to go. But I got that out of the way. Now I can focus on the other stuff, which I talked to the machine shop, and we're going to have to bore the engine over at least 30 to clean it up. Not a big deal. I can get some pistons from Kaufman Racing Equipment. That's where I'm going to get them from. The crank's got to be ground. That's fine. Not a big deal. It's savable. Just got to be ground down a little bit. So far it's looking good. I dropped off some ARP connecting rod bolts, and they're going to resize the rods for me. So at least I'll have that. And I'm going to put forged pistons in it. So it's getting a little bit further than what I wanted. Now if it comes to my rods are bad or the crank is bad, I'm going to go ahead and get the stroker kit. That's just all there is to it. I'm not going to play around anymore. If the stock crank and stock rods are bad, stroker kit. Not even going to play. So, whew. There it is. Another thing done on the project. And getting closer and closer to getting this thing done and on the road. And I am happy about it. Taking longer than I wanted. And with machine shop limbo, it's going to be a little bit there. So I'm not going to be able to make it to some of the events I wanted to with this truck. Such as trucking in the valley coming up. It won't make it, unfortunately. But it is what it is. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. As always, thanks for watching.